can't believe what we found. If we ever get home, what a story we'll have.
The Dig, a 1995 science fiction-themed point-and-click adventure game from LucasArts, notorious for the involvement of director Steven Spielberg, for being probably their least comedic adventure, and for its really long development cycle. In The Dig, a trio of astronauts are whisked away to a distant alien planet that seems mysteriously abandoned and have to explore its ruins to find a way home. The Dig spent 6 years in development until it was finally released to a lukewarm audience reaction, though in time it has been looked on more kindly. For me, The Dig has a very special place in my heart. It was the very first game I bought when our family got a PC with a CD-ROM drive and a sound card. It was one of the first point-and-click adventure games I ever played, and it was amazing hearing CD-quality music and voice acting come out of my speakers. There's another reason why I remember it so fondly, and it's because my older brother got into the game along with me. He and I are 4 years apart, so we didn't have a lot of shared interests growing up, and it was great sharing the game and puzzling it out together. This year, it's 30 years since The Dig was released. I've been reading up on the game's troubled history, and more interestingly, about what was cut from the game. I went to work gathering up as much information and material about that as I could find, and then went on an excavation of sorts through the game's graphics and sound files to see what else I could learn. Now I'm putting all of that together and weaving it through a complete playthrough of the game. Join me on this deep dive of The Dig. For the purpose of this look into The Dig, I used several helpful resources. The digital antiquarian Jimmy Mayer's excellent write-up of The Dig's history, MixinMojo.com's LucasArts Secret History section on The Dig, AT Machine's House of LucasArts and Sierra website, now offline but thankfully available on archive.org, the program Scum Revisited for listening to the game's voice lines, and the program Lucas Ripper for exploring each of the game's sprites and backgrounds. Other info and sketches come courtesy of the Dig official game guide by Joe Ashburn and the Dig novelization by Alan Dean Foster. I'll link stuff down below in the author comments. Let's start with a little bit of history. The Dig begins with director Steven Spielberg and his 1985 TV show Amazing Stories, a science fiction and horror anthology series that featured various famous directors filming stories based on pitches provided by Spielberg. One of these pitches was as follows. Archaeologists in the future are digging up a statue in the ruins of what seems to be an alien civilization, until the statue turns out to be of Mickey Mouse, and the ruins are the castle of Sleeping Beauty in Disneyland, on a post-apocalyptic planet Earth. It's a bit Planet of the Apes, yeah. The pitch was rejected for being too expensive to film, but the idea of an archaeological dig on an alien planet did stick in Spielberg's mind. In 1989, in the same year the movie came out, LucasArts released Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade, the graphic adventure, and it left Spielberg pretty impressed. Whenever someone famous does something that seems out of their usual wheelhouse, you tend to get nonsense PR fluff about how they've totally always dreamed of making a video game, but in Spielberg's case, he was already known as a gamer and a particular fan of point-and-click adventure games, sometimes playing them along with his children. Where other people called a hint line if they got stuck in a game, Spielberg just called up Skywalker Ranch and spoke directly with the game's designers. Spielberg had an idea for a game of his own, and a pitch meeting was arranged at Skywalker Ranch with his friend and collaborator George Lucas and game designers Ron Gilbert and Noah Falstein. The story would involve space archaeologists unearthing the secrets of an advanced but lost civilization of aliens and becoming each other's enemies in the process. From there on, Spielberg mainly served as an idea man for story points and visuals. His name being attached to the project was of course a big point of prestige that was generously used in the marketing for the game. Over the long years that followed, The Dig went through 4 different project leaders at LucasArts. The first was Noah Falstein, one of the head designers on the Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade game and one of the first employees at LucasArts. Falstein's version of The Dig didn't get far out of the planning stages and he moved on to work on Indiana Jones and the Fate of Atlantis instead. Next was Brian Moriarty, author and designer of Loom. Moriarty threw out all of the work done under Falstein and started from scratch. He put together most of the game as it is today. Moriarty had high ambitions for the game but trouble meeting deadlines. The project began to stall, and after about 2 years of working on the game, he left. The Dig then passed to Dave Grossman, writer, designer, and programmer for Day of the Tentacle and The Secret of Monkey Island. His job became to shore up Moriarty's work, retain as much of the game as could be saved, and cut out anything that seemed too complicated or wasn't working. After a few months, Grossman moved on to work on a much more popular project at LucasArts, a little game called Full Throttle. And after about a year of The Dig hanging in limbo, it finally passed to Sean Clark, producer and co-designer of Sam & Max Hit the Road. Clark picked up where Grossman left off and finally got the game out the door at the very end of 1995. There's a lot more to cover, but that gives you an idea of the players involved. For now, let's actually get started on the game.
Of course I miss you, darling. This is the loneliest place on Earth. Most exciting thing ever happens here is the day when it don't rain. Excuse me, darling, I got some work to do. What the heck is that? Get on in here, Pete. We got us a big old asteroid on a 3-week collision course with Earth.
The asteroid has been named Attila, after the war leader of the Huns, who devastated Europe just before the fall of the Roman Empire. Attila was first spotted in a tracking station in Borneo. According to NASA sources, the probability of impact with Earth is 99%.
5, 4, ignition, 2, 1.
The shuttle is up and away. This is not a mission the shuttle was designed for, but as Mission Commander Boston Lowe said in the press conference last night,
if the shuttle is the last hope of the human race, then it'll have to do the job, won't it? Wait a minute, folks. Let me introduce the landing team. Ludger Brink is a noted geologist. He'll evaluate our data on placement of the nuclear devices.
We have to be accurate. The idea isn't to blow Attila to bits. If we did, some of the pieces would certainly hit Earth with devastating effect.
And now I hardly have to introduce Maggie Robbins to you. She's probably the most well-known journalist in the world.
Maggie, you're famous for having once said that you never put up with censorship in any form. Now you're under NASA command.
Miss Robbins is a reporter by vocation, but on this mission she's...
I think I can answer the question myself, Commander Lowe. Danny, I trained for this mission, and I have work to do in laying the nuclear charges. When I come home, I'll be a reporter and tell you all about it. But during the mission, I'm part of the team, and I will obey Commander Lowe like any good soldier.
That may be the biggest news story of all. Maggie Robbins obeys orders.
In going over your bios, I find that Professor Brink is also a noted archaeologist, while it's well known that Maggie is a prodigy at learning new languages. Is this just coincidence?
Not at all. We wanted the best and the brightest for this mission. Dr. Brink and Ms. Robbins are not narrow specialists. They are resourceful, widely educated, and creative thinkers.
Does that apply to you too, Commander Lowe?
My job is to keep everybody alive. I don't have to be bright, I just have to be careful. The other 2 crew members will remain with the shuttle. Ken Borden is the most experienced shuttle pilot we have. Cora Miles is our payload specialist. As you all know, she's a candidate for Congress, but we figured saving the planet is more important than campaigning.
It's cheaper, too.
Any parting message for the people of Earth?
We have exactly one chance, and we've got to do it right. Let all your prayers be with us.
Supposedly, there was a very brief scene removed from the intro movie where it cuts away to Lowe meeting a general of the US Air Force after the press conference. It's only available as a few lines of text, so let's bring those to life.
Good job of keeping the lid on the secret aspects of the mission in that press conference, Commander Lowe.
That's why I get the big bucks, General.
Attila was out there for years, a strange duck but not dangerous. And then suddenly it was headed straight for Earth. Something made it change course. At the first evidence of alien intelligence, you clamped down the lid, Lowe. You understand?
I'm rather glad that's not in the game. It sounds really stupid and shines kind of an awkward spotlight on the suspicions about alien involvement. I do find it interesting how it mentions the military having been aware of Attila for years already. Occasionally, I'm going to be cutting away from the game to either talk about background stuff for a bit or to insert one of these scenes created from unused assets, just so you know. Now back to the game.
Low here. Come on out, kids. The water's fine.
Robin's here. Going independent.
Welcome to the wonderful world of space. Don't bump into anything.
I'll be careful, Commander.
Brink here, going independent. Howdy, Brink. Welcome to the place where geology and astronomy meet.
A professor once told me, astronomers are geologists with clean hands and a squint.
You going to quote him on that in some magazine, Robbins?
I'm just part of the landing team right now, Commander Lowe.
Here we go. The Dig has a much simpler interface than other LucasArts games. There's no verbs to pick from and almost no icons to use, just a plain interaction cursor that you use to pick up items, move them, use them, and talk to other characters. Originally, it did have these actions separately, but along the way it got scaled back to just this. In your inventory, you'll find a magnifying glass that you can use to specifically examine things, which is the only remnant of the old interface.
Robbins, this is Lowe. Do you read?
Robin's here. What is it?
The dialogue system is almost the same as Sam and Max Hit the Road, which is not surprising because that was of course the game that director Sean Clark saw finished right before moving on to The Dig. You can ask a question, say something profound, or pick one of the specific topics to talk about.
Getting anything juicy for your first article?
I'm not writing my article right now, Commander Lowe.
This is all pretty dull so far, Robbins. I hope you can find something interesting for your lead.
Commander Lowe, am I doing something wrong?
No, I'm just trying to be friendly.
And I'm trying to be a good crew member. Can't you forget for even 1 second that I'm a reporter?
Just want to make sure you're having a wonderful time, Robbins.
I'm very, very happy, Commander Lowe.
You gotta watch what you say around Maggie.
Have you looked up at the Earth yet, Robbins?
Oh, is that big blue thing the Earth?
Some people get vertigo when they realize that they're hanging upside down 200 miles over the ocean.
Do some of them throw up? Is that what you want me to do?
I thought it was something you might want to write about.
I actually had a pretty good career as a writer before I had you to think up ideas for me, Commander.
All right.
I just want you to be happy, Robbins. So you'll write nice things about us.
I'm very, very happy, Commander Lowe.
What do you think of our archaeologist, Brink?
I'm very impressed with his experience. He headed the U.S. Geological Survey team that mapped the surface of Venus.
He'll be taking a close look at the asteroid to make certain the detonation points they've chosen are suitable. that big tool chest? We call it the Pig.
I've logged 100 hours working with every tool in the Pig, Commander Lowe.
I feel like Lowe should know that. Wouldn't they have done the training together?
Everything okay with the Pig?
As far as I can see, Commander.
Low out.
Well, that could have gone better. I'm leaving a couple of topics unexhausted. There's a lot more interpersonal dialogue in the Asteroid mission than you might think, because it's not that long a section to normally play. I want to space it out a little, no pun intended. We'll see if things go more smoothly with Brink. And yet, no unique dialogue for examining your teammates.
Brink, this is Lowe. Do you read? Brink here. Are you getting a good look at the asteroid, Brink?
I have hardly looked at anything else, Commander.
Have you noticed anything unusual?
No one has ever been this close to an asteroid before, Commander. I cannot possibly know what is usual or unusual.
Is there anything that should make us reconsider the placement of the charges?
The original choice of quadrant seems adequate, Commander.
Do you see any problems, Brink?
As you Americans might say, Commander, we will kick Attila's butt.
Brink has a few memorable lines to me, and that's definitely one of them.
Happy to set foot on a new world, Brink?
Attila is a very old world, Commander. It is merely new to us.
Let me know if you see anything unusual with the asteroid.
No problems yet, Commander.
What do you think of our star reporter?
Very unorthodox, bringing a reporter on a space mission. But she is very capable, and she writes interesting stories.
Everything okay with the Pig?
Everything's fine as far as I can see, Commander. Miles can tell you more than I can.
Low out.
Together with the two shuttle crew, these characters pretty much make up the whole cast for the game. The official player's guide, which was written by frequent LucasArts playtester Joe Captain Trips Ashburn, came with profiles for each of the characters that seemed to be straight from the design documents. For the Attila mission, Lowe was called out of early retirement with the promise of getting to choose his own shuttle crew, Borden and Miles. The other two, Robbins and Brink, were sprung upon Lowe just before the press conference we presumably see at the start of the game. Brink was chosen for his skill, marketability, and earlier experience with space missions, and Robbins was chosen as a publicity stunt, having written articles questioning NASA's funding in the past, in hopes of winning her over. Boston Lowe is a storied astronaut whose biggest achievement was saving the Space Shuttle Endeavour when its auto-landing guidance systems failed. The pressure and press attention afterwards led to him choosing retirement and isolation in a mountain hut where he spent most of his time fishing. He has a habit of shouldering the blame when things go wrong, something that his good friend Cora Miles talked him out of after the Endeavour situation. Lowe is a military man through and through, permits himself few friends, and is not too happy to be back in space and having to babysit two civilians. That last part is something that I think got softened considerably as they wrote and rewrote dialogue, though it's very clearly what Alan Dean Foster worked with when he wrote the novelization. That version of Boston is very quiet and to himself and unhappy with Brink and especially Robbins present. Lowe is voiced by Robert Patrick, who was of course at the time best known for playing the T-1000 in Terminator 2 Judgment Day, ironically a role in which he had only a handful of lines. He's been a pretty successful character actor ever since, and played Agent John Doggett on The X-Files.
It's a free-fall NASA tool chest containing this mission's equipment. It's affectionately known as the Flying Pig. It's the Pig.
It's the Pig!
Payload Specialist Miles needs to use the remote arm to release it.
We should probably have a talk with her.
This is my penultimate personal digital assistant. It's my personal digital assistant. It's my penultimate. It's my personal digital assistant. It's the T-1000 model.
Haha! Our pocket communicator. Who are you gonna call? Ken Borden.
Load aboard and do you copy?
Like carbon paper, boss.
Hey, Ken.
You ready for us to part company, Ken?
Everything's in position, boss.
Any problem with us taking the pig now, Ken?
Just tell Miles and you can take the little squealer to market.
Right, we have to talk to Cora for that. Ken just flies the shuttle.
Blow out.
Cockpit out.
So the Penultimate is a 1995 style PDA like the Palm Pilot. They tended to use stylus pens rather than touch control, though Lowe does mention it doesn't recognize his handwriting. Not sure if this would be a very practical device for an astronaut anyway. In early screens, the Penultimate is shown to be an Olema branded device. The 90s were of course a time when Japanese consumer tech was overtaking the West. I think Olema was to be kind of a stand-in for Sony, even though apparently Olema is not a Japanese name. More on that later. You may notice there are some missing buttons on the Penultimate. That's because it was planned to have more functions. There's concept screens of photos Lowe would take with it of the crew. It would of course have communications options, and a to-do function where Lowe could seemingly scribble notes on it. Maybe the player would be able to as well. The help function identifies it as an Olema product and mentions an ability to add programs to the Penultimate by pointing other Olema peripherals at it. Not sure if that would ever come up in the game. By the way, if the Olema logo looks at all familiar to you, that would be because it's the plate puzzle we'll find on the Asteroid. Another screen mentions that Quick Mode lets you dial any of 6 frequently used numbers with one touch, which I guess would let you call up the other characters in the game? On a second to-do list doodle, it shows the placement of the explosives on Attila. There were originally 3, and the bombs were nicknamed after the 3 Stooges by Lowe. So sadly, nearly every function of the Penultimate other than communicating with your team got removed.
It comes with the game.
Oh, but they did put one thing back in instead. Asteroid Lander is basically the classic game Lunar Lander, and I guess the idea is you can play it whenever you get stuck in the regular game. Almost got it.
I can pilot a shuttle better.
Nice and easy. Yeah!
The Eagle has landed.
Alright, that's enough fun. The only function for the Penultimate we'll be using is the communicator.
Miles, this is Lowe. Do you read?
Yeah, Boston. I'm on you.
You wish.
In your dreams.
How's the congressional campaign going without you?
Well, my opponent is demanding equal time in space.
With or without a suit?
Just don't screw up the mission, Boston, and I'll be in Congress next January.
I just want you to know you've got my vote, Cora.
Till my opponent offers you more money.
I just want you to know you've got my vote, Cora.
Only if you move to Mississippi, Boston.
I just want you to know you've got my vote, Cora.
Maybe if somebody helps you figure out the levers in the voting booth.
I just want you to know you've got my vote, Cora.
Oh, you finally learned how to make an X.
I just want you to know you've got my vote, Cora.
Oh, I've already got the aging astronaut vote locked up.
I just want you to know you've got my vote, Cora.
And I haven't even paid you your dollar yet.
Here's a lot of these. We'll save a few for later.
We're ready when you are, Cora.
Just give the word, Boston, and you got yourself a pig.
Ready for the deployment of the free fall tool chest.
Is the crew clear of the area?
You know what? I always figured the pig nickname was a bit more abstract. I didn't realize until I recorded this how its silhouette is literally a pig.
Proceed.
The shuttle is based on Space Shuttle Atlantis, actually a real shuttle that NASA used between 1985 and 2011. I believe it doesn't get named in the final release, but it's meant to be the same one. In an earlier render of the shuttle, it was given the fictional name Arcadia.
Everything fine with the pig, Cora?
Looking sweet, Boston. You just be good to my baby.
Alright, let's take her for a spin.
Load a landing team. I'm taking the pig down to the surface. Follow me.
You be good to my baby, Boston, you hear me?
We'll be back soon, Cora. Try not to miss me too much. Blow out.
There's a lot of dialogue with each step of the mission that's easy to miss. Let's check in with our landing team.
Low to Brink. Come in, Brink. I read you, Low. What is it? Keep an eye on the pig, okay? Don't want it drifting off into space.
I travel all this way, and I end up as a swine herder.
Explosive charges haven't been bumped or anything, have they, Brink?
Alpha charge and beta charge are both doing fine, Commander.
Low out. Robbins, this is Low.
Robin's here. I read you.
Kind of strange thinking of nuclear explosives as precision instruments, isn't it?
I think it's a nice change, compared to thinking of them as weapons.
Oh, I see. That's your story angle. Nukes to save the world instead of destroy it.
That's way too long to be the headline, Commander. More likely it'll be Nukes Save World. Or maybe Nukes blast Attila off course.
I thought it would be space aliens plot to abduct astronauts, destroy Earth with giant rock.
Apparently my career is amusing to you, Commander.
Why is it I can tease everybody on this crew except you?
Because they know you like them, Commander.
I like you, Robbins.
No, you don't.
Let's blow up a planetoid together sometime, Robbins.
Oh, you think of the most romantic ideas.
You're kidding. That's the first time I've teased you and you didn't bite my head off.
That was the first time you didn't make fun of my profession.
I hope you're still happy, Robbins.
I'm very, very happy, Commander Lowe.
Low out.
Maggie Robbins, mission observer, is a world-renowned journalist known for her dogged inquiry, with a lifelong distrust of authority instilled in her by her early teachers. She attended Columbia University, where she majored in journalism and minored in ancient languages. Her big break came when terrorists took over the TV station where she was an entertainment reporter and ended up interviewing the leader until he peacefully surrendered himself. Since then, she's covered wars for CNN from inside the combat zone. She looks forward to the Attila mission, suspecting a cover-up of some kind. Maggie is mentioned as being particularly adept at learning other languages and figuring out puzzles. Maggie Robbins is voiced by Mary Wise, who is a seasoned voice and voiceover actor with a series of TV credits. She's done voices for a bunch of video games such as Command & Conquer, Mass Effect, and Guild Wars. Maggie is written as a bit of a scold, which was annoyingly epidemic for female characters in 80s and 90s media. Alan Dean Foster's novelization treats her character a bit better. Maggie is written to be more enthusiastic and excited, while Lowe himself is written much more quiet, a little sour, and resentful of having her around. Though Maggie doesn't let him get her down. The dynamic works a lot better there, and it's more in line with the character descriptions presented in the game guide. I do feel like there's bits of Maggie being more upbeat left in the shuttle mission.
Let's go check out conditions on the surface.
The weatherman called for clear skies, no wind, no rain, no air.
Back to the asteroid, my fearless space pioneers.
We're behind you all the way, Captain Commander, sir.
At one point, most, if not all of the dialogue in the game got rewritten by Sean Clark and science fiction author Orson Scott Card, who I think was basically flown in to attach another famous name to the game. I wonder how much of Maggie being kind of shrewish and Lo being kind of a golden retriever looking for a friend results from that rewriting.
It's the pig.
It's the pig! Let's have a look in the pig. As Lo said, it's a free-floating tool chest.
Regulation NASA pocket shovel. Every astronaut should have one.
That's a real LucasArts fourth wall type joke. Pocket shovel, like it's foldable or something.
It's like a jackhammer, but for space. It's a specially designed explosive charge engineered to help move the asteroid into a safe orbit.
In the Foster book, the nukes used to stabilize Attila come from Russia, and the Russians are using compact nukes for things like mining and land development. Surprisingly, there's no mention of the Russians demanding any concessions for the use of their nukes. The idea is just that only the Americans have the means to get them up there, and the asteroid is a danger to every nation on Earth. The novel also mentions that there's 3 explosives instead of 2, but one of them is meant as backup and will be immediately dismantled once it's clear it won't be needed. The novelization makes a good point. I don't know if it's Foster's invention or not, and that people are quite excited about the idea of exploiting the asteroid as a platform for a space station or satellites once it's settled into a safe orbit. Though, I wonder what a small extra moon suddenly being added to Earth would do to, like, the tides and other things of natural order that we kind of take for granted. Let's grab our gear. And in good point-and-click adventure tradition, let's try using things on each other.
My personal digital assistant barely recognizes my handwriting. I'm not plugging it into a huge explosive device. I don't want to arm it until it has been placed in the proper position. These explosives don't run on flashlight batteries. The shovel does not work well with explosives. The zero-G digger is a bit indelicate to use with explosives. The explosive devices do not attach to each other.
All right, Lo, I feel like you're getting condescending. Let's pick this up in the next video.
Damn. I almost beat Maggie's high score.